ready, I was dancing. Welcome! Right, I'm ready. Welcome back to the latest episode. In this one, we finally finished the golf. No, wrong card.
Sorry.
We haven't finished it. It's slightly more finisher-y though.
Finishery.
Finisher-y. But more importantly, the Austin is back. So, I'm going to pass you back in time to me at the start of this week, before the golf all went wrong and I had to walk home. And then we'll go back to the Austin. So, enjoy! Now, I'm not sure how many of you care about this car because I don't. As a rule, I don't really like new cars. But we started this little series, so I am going to finish it. And basically, I just want to show you that for essentially no money, you can make a tatty old-ish car look slightly better. So, with that being said, I think we need to lower this and get rid of these wheels. So, let's go. We've had the cam belt done now because that was stupidly overdue. So we got that done. Shout out Brian, he came and done that for me because I'm not about that life. But I've got to strip this lot off so we can get to the top mounts. Then get it up in the air, start taking the struts off. But while I do that, we'll have a quick word from our sponsors. Only joking, we don't have sponsors. Which is why I'm just going to take a second to show you these lovely new t-shirts we have. These might be out when the video comes out, or they might be just after, but I printed these ones and I'm not happy with how bright the yellow is. I wanted like more of a golden yellow, and I ended up with a in-your-face yellow. So, if you are watching this and you are a large or an XL, and you really want one, let me know in the comments. Might be able to sort you out. Sponsor over. I always wonder why this car stops so well. It's because it not only has red calipers, it also has red bits on the discs. One bit of advice I'd give for anyone who is attempting to do coilovers or anything suspension-wise on a car is wire brush all the bolts first, NWD-40. It might seem trivial, but fuck me does it make your life easier. So, I'll whip this strut off now and then we'll unbox the finest Max Peeling Rod coilovers. I'm not actually going low today fitting these. I'm actually just going to put them on at the lowest height they come because I want to wait until it's painted. All the trims are on and it's completely done to then lower it loads, so I can do that thing at the end where you stand back and go, oh, it's not too bad. I feel like if I just sit it on the floor now while it's all tatty and that, when I then paint it, it's just a waste of time. I might as well not paint it. But what I thought I'd do is quickly jump on and just show you a couple of ways you can make not low coilovers low, because, you know, I'd imagine that's why most of you follow us. So, if you buy a cheap coilover like this for, say, this Golf's 55mm strut, so these are universal, so this collar, if you pull that off, that's then 50mm, so with that on, 55. Now what that means is you can cut this bottom lip off, or die grind it out, slide that down, so where your strut bolts in to the hub, if you've got, say, 2 inches between the bottom of your strut and your drive shaft, it means you can actually slide this further down. So you gain 2 inches of shock travel, which means you won't bottom out. You can obviously, another option is you can cut the threads, drop the threads down and replace them, because you can pull the middles out of these, so it's then just a bit of tube, you can do what you want with it. You can drop your threads down, but you will still lose shock travel, so you'll probably be on the bump stop straight away. So if you don't have these collars, you can actually just grind the lip out of the inside of your hub and do the same thing. So you can then drop this whole thing down, which will gain you lows and shock travel. So that is the easiest way to get a cheap coilover lower, or just low in the first place. Now, like I say, I'm actually just going to put these on at the bottom setting at the minute, so I don't expect it to be low. Same with the rears, I'll just put the rear springs in, I'll leave the adjusters out, but I just want to get it lowered because it's horribly high. And then when I put the rest of the trims on, paint the front end, refurb the wheels, then we'll actually notch, maybe subframe raise, and actually get it sitting real nice and low. So it's a bit of a cop out. It's not often I put coilovers on standard, but here we are. So, this video is not just me fitting these. There's going to be some other stuff that's going on this week, so hang around for that. Now, I will leave you and bang these on. If there's any other great tips I can think for lowering, I'll film that bit. If not, the car will be done next time you see it. Well, not done. This bit of the car will be done. But for now, let's have a cup of tea and put this on. So it took about 20 seconds after I filmed that last clip before I decided to go lower and slid them through. So if you look, you can't really see, but the bottom of the strut is now dropped through the hub, which means this gap is smaller. So I've gained probably 30 mil, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's over an inch. So fronts are all on now, put the new drop links on. Now to do the rear. In normal fashion, obviously it escalated slightly. Like I say, I wound the front down a bit more and I think it was worth it. Cars look so much better lowered. But anyway, still just a crappy Golf, but it's slightly less crappy. Now, the rear is still too high, so I think I'm going to have to modify the springs, but the front isn't sitting too bad now. I mean, it's kind of on the floor a little bit, but I had to get some spacers because I changed the wheel bearing on that at some point, and for some reason it now sits about 5 mil further in on one side, so the wheel hits the strut. So I've had to order some spacers, which are coming tomorrow, but it looks better with the cleaner, the wheels on it now they've been slightly polished. But yeah, that's this part of the video over. I can't drive that now because of the lack of strut issue, so I guess I'll join you in the morning when I finally bring them Austin back. Bye. So it's been about 4 days since that last clip, but the Golf is back on the road now. As back on the road as it's ever been. It still needs a bit of work. The rear needs to come down a little bit. Front arches need rolling, need to paint it, all of that stuff. And I think my rear wheel is buckled because I've got a hell of a wobble. But the reason you're all here is not the Golf. It is probably this. Now, we've done, I don't actually know how many miles, but we've done some mileage in it now, and it is officially, I think, off of the road now until next year. So, I'm just going to go show you around things that have worked, things that probably haven't worked, things I've broken, and plans going forward. Now, I guess we will start with the back, because it's the easiest way to do this. So, unfortunately, I have knocked the filler off of this and bent it, and I've bent the other side as well. That was always going to happen. I assumed it would have been the front and not the rear, but so I need to sort that. The biggest issue I've had with it is leaky rear windows. So you can see there's like a tide mark here. That's how much water's been in it. And the underside of this seat, like it's not so bad now, but there was a massive puddle there. And I think it's because these seals are basically non-existent, which has meant I've been sitting on an auto finesse drying towel and a bin bag. So I definitely need to weatherproof the car. So that's quite a high priority. I'm also going to sound deaden all the inside to try and make it a little bit better. Now, the dash obviously went pop as well, so I've got to sort that out, which could be expensive. I hope not. And I also kind of want to, I don't know whether to paint the outside. I feel like it's a little bit sacrilege, but that's all that's really happened on the outside. The paint is absolute dog. Like, this was obviously in here before, but like, just rain has made it all bubble up and go terrible. So I thought potentially lacquer the whole thing, or maybe just paint the whole thing. But other than that, it's actually been mint. Like, I've been trying to think of things to film for this video that have gone wrong, and there's not many. It's surprised me. Now, that big gaping hole there needs to be filled with a turbo, so that's definitely happening over winter. Along with need to sort the hydros because I still haven't charged the accumulators right, so it lifts a bit wonky. Front bumper has got to go on because I think it looks too much like a hot rod, and I'm not trying to build a hot rod. I was trying to build like a really low old car, so that's definitely got to go back on. I need to wire the lights up properly and actually point them where they're meant to be pointed, because at the minute I am blinding everyone. So it's all little things, which is nice, but I think I'm gonna, depending on time between doing like the Navara and the lorry and stuff, I wouldn't mind lifting the body back off the chassis on this, because I coated it all fairly lightly because I didn't know if I was going to have to change anything, but now I know everything works. I might actually lift it up and like raptor the chassis, raptor the underside, just to make it last. I've also got a sticky brake I need to sort out, not sure what that is. But yeah, it's all little things, but the main things are going to be fitting the turbo, and I want to redo the whole interior. So this will be constantly just in videos from now on. Anytime I do a bit on it, I film it and add it in a video. Now, this video's been a little bit here and there again. Like I say, we're in that weird in the middle spot, which is kind of hard to make decent content, but it will get better. Escort's coming soon, backroom's going to get finished, and the Navara is actually going to get started. Even though I say that in every video, it's actually going to. So, the t-shirts are now live on the website for anyone who wants those. There is a few more designs coming out, more of like a winter range coming. That'll probably be next month, or like the end of this month. So, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe. We need all the help we can get, because I think me, and I can probably speak for Chris, we're ready to just, quit our jobs and make videos full time. But yeah, I just wanted to do a little quick walk around it while it was here before it gets chucked in a corner. I'm also going to make the wheels bigger, I forgot to say. I'm going to step them up to 17s. But yeah, until the next one, thank you for joining us on this journey. Goodbye.